Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Ever since her resignation, her involvement with the police investigation, her arrest, her release, all the other things that's going on, Nicola Sturgeon has not once given a speech in Holyrood. She's barely attended, if truth be known. But today that will change. She's expected to give a speech this afternoon. It's a speech in support of Humza Yousaf's new policy initiatives. So it probably won't be a long speech. It'll be sort of blah, blah, blah. Isn't he doing well? Isn't my boy? He's a pretty boy, isn't he? I've done well with him. He's doing ever so well. You know, that kind of thing. Well, because what else can she say? His policies, of course, are sheer bonkers. We've looked at some of them already. But she's going to have to sort of toe the line and say how marvellous they are. But it will be her first speech. Now, of course, she won't address any of the issues. Of course, we won't expect her to address anything like that or even regard to them in passing, which will show a massive amount of cowardice, of course, on her part, because, God, in her mind, she can do no wrong. But it will be interesting to see what she says and how she goes around addressing it, and if there'll be any interruptions and point of orders regarding this. It'll be sort of fair game for the opposition parties. Anyway, we'll take a look at this piece, see what's going on, see what we can expect. But I wouldn't build your hopes up that this is going to be an exciting day, unless, of course, it turns out that it is. But chances are it isn't. Anyway, take a look. Here goes. So, Sturgeon to speak for the first time in Holyrood Chamber since exit as FM. As I say, it won't. I don't think it'll be one of her best speeches. It won't be one that'll end up in a very expensive book that'll get bought by the thousands by some faceless corporation in order to give her a little tax break payoff or something. But anyway, Nicola Sturgeon will give her first speech in the Holyrood Chamber today, since she stood down as First Minister almost 6 months ago. Has it only been 6 months? It seems much longer. The former First Minister and SNP leader is due to speak in a debate on her successor Humza Yousaf's programme for government, and is expected to address the issue of child poverty, which I think seems fair enough considering how much she's done to create child poverty and to increase the number of children in poverty. I mean, we addressed it yesterday that a full quarter of all Scottish children are in poverty, up massively from the day she took over as First Minister. So it seems only right that she addresses the problem that she personally has created. Ms Sturgeon has attended meetings and held press conferences in the Scottish Parliament since she stepped down. However, the last time she spoke in the debating chamber was as First Minister on March the 23rd. Nothing there uttered another word since. Daren't open herself up to questions. The theme for the debate is equality. And it is understood Ms Sturgeon is keen to talk about the blight of the child poverty problem and how it can be addressed. Well, I think the only way to address it is for the SNP to resign, have a new elections and put a different government in. It's the only way it can possibly happen. She's due to speak around 3 p.m. So, as a little heads up, I will do a video. As soon as she spoke, I will do a video about what she said. So, if you're not yet subscribed, hit the button so you don't miss it. And we'll see you there at 3 o'clock, or about 3:30, 4:45 sometime, whenever I can get this quickly arranged. It'll be her first speech from the back benches, and I'm sure all eyes will be on the chamber to hear what she's got to say, an SNP source told the Herald. As well as being the first time the former FM has spoken in the chamber since leaving office, it will also be the first time since she was arrested by police investigating the SNP's finances. Probably not the last time she's going to be arrested, though, according to rumour. The long-running probe continues to hang over her and her party Operation Branch Form. That didn't make sense. I'll read that again. The long-running probe continues to hang over her and her party. Operation Branch Form is investigating the party's finances. Do you know that if they'd have put a comma in there, it would have made a lot better, wouldn't it? What a state of education these days. Anyway, we know all about Operation Branch Form. I'm not going to push on with that. Serene Livingston, the former Police Scotland chief, has said that the investigation has subsequently expanded to examine potential embezzlement. And we all suspect we know where that will lead to. And it certainly wouldn't surprise me. Although even then, just looking at the punishment meted out yesterday to Natalie McGarry, where she embezzled and stole £55,000 at least, and was handed a £66 repayment order. So, it goes to show that the SNP do have the entire justice system in their pockets. Ms Sturgeon was arrested, questioned, released without charge, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. Mr Yousaf has continued to support his predecessor's membership of the SNP Holyrood group, and since her arrest, hailed her as Europe's most impressive politician. He obviously doesn't get out much. Others, however, in the party believe she should have been suspended the moment she was arrested. She should have been suspended. While there is any kind of risk that she's guilty, you suspend her. Otherwise, when she's found guilty, you will find, or if she's found guilty, you will find that it'll be quite embarrassing to say, well, we had this woman in our midst and whatever for so long. So she should have been suspended. No, not necessarily thrown out, but suspended at the moment she was arrested. Since her arrest, Miss Sturgeon has limited her public appearances, though she was guest at shows in last month's Edinburgh Fringe Festival, because they all are. They all want to get on that particular boat, don't they? That gravy train. During the conversation there with broadcaster Ian Dale, Miss Sturgeon said she intended to see out the parliamentary term until the 2026 election. Whether it's from inside a cell or not, it remains to be seen. Last month it also emerged she's writing a memoir that her publishers, Pan Macmillan, have promised will be deeply personal and revealing, assuming of course that she can remember anything. She seems to have a case of amnesia, terrible amnesia, her inability to remember anything, it seems. She's also appeared as an early witness in the UK COVID inquiry and has reportedly been spending a lot of time concentrating on preparation work for future appearances on different aspects of the pandemic. And of course there's the possibility of future court cases related to this, which again we would love to see, followed by a very lengthy spell at His Majesty's pleasure in somewhere like Cornton Vale or Edinburgh Prison Ladies' Wing, where she can get to spend time with all the other men. However, she has kept a fairly low profile and did not attend the SNP's away day for MPs, MSPs and council leaders in Edinburgh last Friday. A jolly little taxpayer paid for Beano. I'm sure the wine and the whiskey was taken, and all fun and was had by all. The former First Minister has previously stressed her commitment to reducing child poverty. This is strange considering she's created so much of it. And she's introduced the new devolved benefit of the Scottish Child Payment, and it entitles families on low incomes to a weekly payment of £25 for each of their children under 16. Who's paying? The Scottish Government report in June estimated that 90,000 fewer children will live in relative and absolute poverty this year as a result of the policy and other measures taken by the Scottish Government. I don't think they will. All that extra money will simply turn up as we're going out on beer, cigarettes and tattoos. The report demonstrates that we're preventing children falling into poverty and lifting people out of it. I bet it doesn't demonstrate that whatsoever. It may demonstrate the desire for that to happen, but there's as yet no proof. She said this year 90,000 fewer children will live in poverty as a result of the concerted actions and focus we're providing. What's strange, of course, is that 90,000 fewer children is about a third of the number that have increased since the SNP came to power that have gone into poverty. So they put all these children into poverty and they're getting about a third of them back out. That's marvellous. What about the whole poor 180,000 that remain on the other side of that equation, for which you are doing nothing? And that's the SNP. Right, so as I say, the speech will be about 3 o'clock. We will do... we'll watch the speech, or if we can't, it depends on what happens, we'll try and watch the speech live. And then we will come up, we'll do the report, and we'll pick the juicy bits out of it, assuming there's any juicy bits to pick out. It is Nicola Sturgeon, of course. It's going to be quite bland if she can get away with it. She won't want to say or do anything that could damage the party or come back and bite her going forward. Anyway, stop there, come up. So I presume the chamber will be absolutely heavingly full today. everyone will want to be there. They'll want to see her. They'll want to sort of hopefully get in a word or an insult or a question or some such. The gallery will be filled as the future Queen of Scotland, as she sees herself, deigns to give an audience to her people. She's speaking, of course, about something of which she's an expert, child poverty. Having created so much of it, she knows all about it. But I don't suppose it'll be too controversial. She won't want to spin up too much away from Humza Yousaf and take anything away from her protege. Anyway, we will cover it. I'll come back after 3 o'clock. We'll do the follow up on it. So do please, as I say, hit that subscribe button. If you're one of my regulars, one of the 65% of you who are regular viewers have yet to subscribe, now's an excellent time. Hit the button so you don't miss later. And if you're a new person, a new viewer, do also hit the button. Please join us as we reveal the truth, tell it as it is, and spread the good news. And until then, stay safe, stay well, and let us hope that she does say something a bit controversial we can get our teeth into. Thanks for watching. Bye.